Okay, we're back in the paint booth. I got the car all masked off again. Just hit it with some epoxy primer. Just did one quick coat on all the areas that were disturbed. Specifically any place where we put filler. I just wanted to make sure that there was a good seal of epoxy on that area. What is that? It's like a bug. Anyway, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna hit this and do a seal coat with epoxy, which is just another epoxy coat, but slightly thinned. And then I'll get 1 to 2 coats on of that material, depending on coverage, and we'll get it sorted out. So my plan is I'm gonna do that today, let that sit overnight, go back and correct any issues in the epoxy, i.e. any dirt nibs. Now we spent some time in here, spent some time putting this strapping up, keeping the insulation from falling down, as you can see here. Then we cleaned it out real good. My wife helped me. She was awesome. Then we put down this ram board. This works really good. It holds moisture, it traps the moisture on the floor, but it also keeps the dust down. So I'm hoping, we went through and we cleaned this really well. We vacuumed off the walls, we did the best job we could. Got the car back in here this morning and just been continuing to mask. Now I put in this, I don't know if you can see this, but this white foam weather stripping almost. Use that to block overspray. I did mask off all the jams, the bottom side of the hood, bottom side of the trunk, and then the engine compartment opening and the trunk opening. Everything is masked as good as I can get it. So next step, like I said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm letting this set up for about 30 to 45 minutes. And again, I only really wanted to seal up any place where I had put filler. And you can see, I don't know how well this will show up, but you can kind of see the texture change right there. That happens on the first coat of epoxy over any filler. So I just want that to kind of disappear. So my feeling is, hit it with that first, just touch up the spots that were disturbed, and any place where I got down to bare metal, obviously, there was very few of those, but I just trying to even this out. Now I'll hit it with a good seal coat, and then tomorrow I'll denib it if there's any dirt nibs in it, and I should be ready to start laying color. So it's been a long haul. I am really ready for bodywork and paint to be done. Really ready. So, but at the same time, I'm trying not to cut corners here. So I'm also going to mix up more of the burnt orange right now while I'm waiting for this coat to dry or flash. And yeah, that's my plan right now. Okay, there's our seal coat. Again, that's a thinned out epoxy coat. I'm gonna let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow morning I'm gonna start the color process after I look this over real close and make sure I don't have any issues in it. I don't see anything, but I've gotta look it over closely in the morning, hit it with a tack cloth, do all of that. It's sealed up nice. I don't really see any defects through it. Even little scratches and stuff, it seems to have taken those on quite nicely. So I did, after I got done with the 320 block sanding, I hit it with a 400 DA, just once over everything, just to get rid of some of the linear marks. I don't think anything's gonna show, but I was just getting nervous. So again, I did finish with a DA at 400, dust free. So I'm gonna let this dry overnight now. A little nervous I don't have enough paint cups to do the job, but I got to recalculate on that. I think I have 17 cups right now, and I've still got to do color, 3 coats of color, 2 coats of candy, and 2 coats of clear minimum, maybe 3 coats of clear. So I may be making a flying run to Home Depot tonight, but we'll see. Anyway, there's step one, the seal coat. And this is still pretty fresh. That's why it's a little shiny in places. This will dull right out. Yeah, hopefully we'll be in good shape and get ready to start this out tomorrow. Okay, it's the next morning. So I've gone over this seal coat with a tack cloth, de-nibbed it, found a couple of little nibs that were very easy to remove. Tack clothed it, got it all set. Next step is I got to start laying some base coat. So first base coat, I'm going to go fairly light on it. I always like to do a light coat on my first one just to let it tack up and let the paint bite a little bit. Then the next coat will be a little heavier, and I think I'll do a third drop coat, but we'll see how it goes after the first two. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. It looks good. I'm not seeing any flaws. I did have one minor sag up front. I was able to sand that out and tack it off so there was no debris floating around. So yeah, next step, color coat. Okay, that's 2 coats of color. And I want to do a quick walk around now and just see if I've got any inconsistencies in this, you know, if there's any dark or light spots, any striping. It looks pretty damn consistent right now. I'm gonna hit it with one more coat. I just want to make sure I understand if there's any spots I need to pay attention to or stay away from. Looks awesome. Don't see any defects or runs yet. I did see one little pinhole coming out up front. I'm 10 minutes into a dry time right now. Yeah, I got to get in there a little better. Just give that a little attention when I start the next coat. It looks like a couple little fish eyes right here. That sucks. And a couple of nibs right there. So I'm going to hit this one more time. I don't really see any inconsistencies in the color, but one more time won't hurt. One more coat of the urethane base coat. This is a high flake color, so you do get some texture with it. They do absolutely recommend clear coats, but we're doing 2 coats of candy and 3 coats of clear. Wow, that looks nice. I don't really see too much in the way of defects. It's really hard to tell just how consistent it is because the lights in here make every place right in front of the light look light. So I think I'm gonna give it another few minutes, let it really set up good here. Then I'll come back and hit it with one more nice even coat. I'll probably walk the whole side of the car this time rather than panel by panel, just to get it as consistent as possible. But yeah, I think that's looking great. I don't see any runs or anything like that. Like I said, the only problem I'm seeing right now is a little heavy in that seam, a little slightly different color. One more coat should even that out if I don't stop on the seam. Is the only inconsistencies I see are this this right here, this little spot where I have some fish eyes. It looks like that's right over a filler spot. Maybe there was some pinholes there. I don't know. But all we can do is do, right? So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that so far. Not bad. Not bad. Of course, the tone changes as soon as you put some of the candy on it, which is what candy's for. So I'm going to give this one more coat, give it probably another 10 minutes, hit it one more time. with a nice even coat, and we will call that a day. I've got one full gun left. This took just about a gun to do that last coat, but I think I'm going to mix up another half gun just so I have it in reserve, and if it's like I don't want to stop once I'm moving. So yeah, let's try it, see what we get. Okay, we got updates. So went through my color coat. Now I've added 2 coats of candy. Getting there, got the color that we're looking for now. Of course, it wouldn't be a paint job unless a fly comes in and does a kamikaze maneuver right into the damn door. But is what it is. Other than that, we're doing pretty good. One problem, however, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with this, but this showed up on the first coat of candy. I'm not sure if, I don't know. It's really strange. So I'm going to have to do something to touch that up after the fact, because that is horrific. But anyway, that's it. It's the only real defect I've got going here that I've seen so far anyway. It's it's been a long day. So now I'm going to put clear coat on it until I run out. I didn't order another gallon. I should have. I must have totally spaced it. I think I have enough for 3 coats, but it's going to be really close. I believe I certainly have enough for 2 coats, but is what it is. So I'll hit it with 2 coats of clear, and reassess. So maybe I might just hit the sides or the areas that may need the most wet sanding. So yeah, I will keep after it until I'm done today. But yeah, that's a bummer right here. I don't know if this is a sag or what, but it looks like a sag, but it kind of came out of nowhere. Not really sure how that came about. I mean, literally I was halfway through the first coat of candy when I noticed that, and I'm like, what is going on here? But other than that, everything else is behaving. Color is pretty consistent. The candy shade is very consistent. The hood's coming out pretty decent. So far, that's life. That one little spot there, fisheye that started early on, and the kamikaze mosquito. Yeah, it looks like he's sealed in amber now. Anyway, we knew it wasn't going to be perfect, but it's very close. I just gotta not look at that every time I walk by it. That's the plan. So I'm going to keep going, and we'll see what we get. Okay, there it is. That is 3 coats of high solid clear, and yeah, she's ready for a cut and buff. Not too bad. Pretty happy with it, other than the mosquito doing the backstroke right here. Yep, there he is. That always happens. At least it's not a June bug, which I've seen happen. Yeah, ready for the cut and buff. If it wasn't for this spot right here, I'd be over the moon. But I'm not sure how that's going to come out. I may have to, wet sand until that starts to come out a little bit, and then re-clear and re-candy that little spot or something, try to blend that in, but that's really offensive. So, but other than that, it came out really good. I think it's going to buff out nice. I'll cut that, buff it, do all that. So eventually, I'm going to let it harden off for a few weeks before I even attempt that. But, it's in color. Feels good. A little bit of my masking fell down there. That's not good. But it is what it is. At this point, I'm just happy to be done with it. So, like I said, next step is to cut and buff that. I'll come back in a couple days, unmask it, or maybe even unmask it tomorrow while everything's still a little soft. And then we'll get it back in the other side and figure out what the next steps are. Life after paint. 12 weeks since I stripped the EDP off this body. Took a while. I wasn't on it every day, but I was on it a lot. And you know, I'm pretty happy with my process. I think it came out okay. There's a little more texture on it than I'd like to see, but certainly I can cut that out, cut that and buff it, and that'll be perfect. Other than the bug, you know, we'll name him. You know, if you get suggestions for the name, just put it in the comments. But yeah, there it is. It's been a long day. It's now almost 6 o'clock. I got up here about 8 o'clock this morning. Had to make a mad dash to Hobo Freight. But other than that, I was running out of paint cups. So, is what it is. I think we're in good shape. At this point, you know, gonna learn to love it. But anyway, I'll get this posted and we'll fill you in on what we're gonna do next.